Hello, and welcome back to Soul Spy University, Halloween and Fall Edition. Today, we will be covering the latest updates in the Gabby Petito case that when I tell you up to the second on, it's insane. I actually have a funny story at the end of this. So today we will be going over 5 different advancements since our last podcast. And if anything happens after this podcast, in terms of developments, I will be leaving it in the comments, and please feel free to comment. How you doing there, Tom?
I'm doing great.
Great. Okay, we're just going to dive right in. There's a million things we need to go over. I'm going to give you an index right now. Stay tuned because we are getting to all of them, and each one has new revelations as well as theories and all sorts of things going on. Okay, one is a phone, one is his sister. One is a million funny stories that's happened as a result of this, but I'll make it quick, guys. A lot of theories coming from other things I'm hearing and connecting the dots. And at the very end, what I think about the newest body cam footage, because I do read energy and I feel like I know exactly what's going on there. And then the funny story at the very end. All right, we're diving right in. So newest is they found a phone that Brian Launderie had. I don't know did you hear about this, Tom?
No, I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, so apparently when he got back on September 1st, he bought a phone, a brand new phone. I think it's with AT&T, opened an account. And that's the phone that he left at his parents' house. So now that's in possession of the FBI. I don't even know if it was even used. But this really brings up the question, like, where's his old phone? You know?
Mm-hmm. And
it's like, is this a ploy? Is this like, oh, well, if they're looking for my phone, here it is. It's like, obviously, you know, unless he broke his old phone, and this way it doesn't look so suspicious. So that's a new advancement. So that's topic 1 there.
This guy doesn't seem like the biggest genius, so maybe maybe you're right, and he was like, oh, this will really trick him.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm not sure. The second is his sister. Okay. So I don't know if you know this, but they did an interview with his sister after nobody was answering anything from the FBI. Nobody was answering any calls from the cops or calls from the Petito family. And the interview with his sister was basically like gave the impression that she has not seen or spoken to him, and honestly it seemed as if anyone in the family. She just kept saying, like, you know, I haven't spoken to him, I wish I could speak to him, he hasn't spoken to me. And it kind of left everyone to think, oh my god, the whole family is ignoring the sister as well, you know. So that was really interesting. And yeah, and then it came out this week, like literally like weeks later, that she saw him on September 1st when he got back at his parents' house, was with him, and was on the camping ground with him and his family when they were on a camping trip. Wow. So that's another thing that came out this week, which I think, speak about in the last podcast. But he went on a camping trip with his family. He got back on the 1st, went on a camping trip with his family, starting on my birthday, September 6th, and they left the 7th, but they didn't check out until the 8th. So then the FBI got on that more this week, and everybody's like, how did they wait until now to want to see the surveillance footage of that? So that's been interesting. So basically, with the videos coming out about the sister, I did comment, and I was like, you know, maybe she meant she hasn't, you know, seen or spoken to him since she last did. Or, and then I put in all caps, he's staying with her. Which could be a huge possibility. They did not go in her house.
Oh,
and that's
really?
That's exactly what I put, is maybe she meant since then, or he's staying with her, in like all caps, because really, and this also brings up the question, what if he's just been home the whole time? Could you imagine? The whole time?
That would be the worst police work.
What?
That would be terrible police work.
I mean, really, they're kind of really going by the book here with these people. Do you know what I mean? They're kind of really like, they have an attorney, they have a lawyer. Let's just go in. Let's hope they say 2 words. Let's leave. Who knows? You could have been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Upstairs walking around, playing video game. I don't know. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. I mean, you know how much time I spend in the damn forest. I'm like damn Goldilocks, and that's why I try to make my hair darker on a regular basis. Okay. So now that he's still on foot missing, okay, and I'm in the forest all the time, as per usual, especially in the fall, I just can't help but just whenever I hear a sound or a noise or a person, little old me in the forest by myself, I just can't help but be like, Brian Launderie. Is that Brian Launderie? Is Brian Launderie behind me? Who's that? As long as it's not Brian Launderie. Because I've actually heard he's got connections to Poughkeepsie and all sorts of things. So you just never know. He likes forests. I'm in the forest. I mean, thank God you even told me about this story weeks ago, because I would have just found some dude in the forest, or he found me and would have just handed him a lighter. I don't know. Okay, that's another thing. Okay, now other topic on this. They did not connect this, but I did. And I hope they get on this. So apparently, because of all the surveillance, because of all the search for this whole case, they apparently actually found a missing body that they've been looking for in Jackson Hole. Now, I don't know if you remember on the last podcast, but when Brian Launderie was hitchhiking, he flipped out and got out of the hitchhiking car because they were either going towards Jackson Hole or not going to Jackson Hole.
Yeah,
so
they were going towards it.
They were going towards it?
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't want to go to Jackson Hole, which is really interesting because that's where they found a damn body. And I think people just need to start connecting these dots. Because, oh my God, they're just like, wow, we found the body here. Thank God for this search. Okay. Anyway. And it's like, look at the story, guys. Like, whatever. It's fine. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Okay.
I love the way detectives are going to be like, so Soul Spa University figured it out and we couldn't.
Oh, the same way in that Brian McKnight SpaceX video. Now they're coming out with that show, which, okay, that's next podcast. Okay. So, also, more body cam footage has come out in regards to the Gabby Petito, Brian Launderie thing. And basically, the main point that came out of it is, oh my God, she was the main perpetrator. Now, I'm going to be honest. I watched this, okay? I think what happened, and I read energy, okay, is that there was a couple, there was a couple dispute with them. And I think she got really scared when the cops were questioning if he hit her, because she's thinking, I don't know the ramifications of this. I don't know what's going to change. Like, this might change my entire life. Like, what if he goes to jail for life? And what I sensed was, even if he went to jail for a little bit, I don't think she wanted her life to change even that much. I think she was very attached to this relationship, very attached. And I think she was really scared they were going to do something to him. And I think she definitely threw herself under the bus in the hopes that, like, she thought she was dealing with like some sort of where like she wouldn't get in trouble for this, really, and that he would get in more trouble. So she, I think, threw herself under the bus. I think she was starting, out of fear to maybe relay that he's done some things, but she also kept covering it up. So she would go like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, because when you're a girl and you're that attached to the relationship, when you're young like that, she's thinking, I don't want to be left out here by myself. I don't know how to drive this van very well. What if he goes to jail and never talks to me again? She wasn't ready for a final breakup. No, I'm serious. Like, I've I know these things, you know, I've been there. And when you're young and you don't know what, there's these cops just questioning you and pressing you for answers. It wasn't in a way, and I'm not saying it's the cop's fault, but it wasn't in a way that she felt okay to say it, because she doesn't know what's going to happen after. And she wasn't ready. Like, she might be thinking, I don't want to drive this van home by myself, you know?
Mhm.
She, you know, and she, I mean, I don't think she was just so worried. She, you know, I think she thought of like cop intervention as a permanent change if he were to get in trouble. And she really wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, especially when you're young, you don't freaking think things through. You just go quick. Like every thought, your thought is your first thought, and that's it. So, but yeah, no, there are always the fears that something can happen and this will be the end. But people don't need to think past that, because, I mean, look at the outcome. It's terrible.
I know, but that's easy to say now. When you're that age, you're not thinking past it. You're thinking with your hormones.
It's unfortunate.
So the last thing that happened, happy Mercury retrograde, everybody, just letting you know, when things go wrong in this podcast and there's like a million sounds in the background and we were this late in the game today. To be honest, we weren't even supposed to record today. I was supposed to be doing something, but anyway. So yeah, Mercury retrograde, full effect. The last thing that happened is I'm up to the date. I'm on WFLA, YouTube Live. I was on like 3 or 4 different lives this week. You know, listening to the guy, literally hashtagging his name, asking questions, along with 29,000 other people. Okay, so you can see how quickly the chat's going, right? All of a sudden, I see Joe Rogan died, right? So I was like, whatever, irrelevant. Obviously, this guy's just speaking metaphorically because maybe he's not covering the story or something about journalism. I don't know. And I thought he's just starting rumors. I mean, you got to see what's in this chat. I can't even repeat to you what I'm seeing in this chat on this podcast. I mean, it would mind blow everybody, but I don't want to even put that in their sphere. You could see for yourself, guys, if you go on. But basically, eventually, he said it again. And I'm just trying to scroll through the comments, trying to get my comment in, trying to get my question, hashtagging, listening, hashtagging, getting the up-to-date things, like trying to help them piece this stuff together. And they actually do end up answering a lot of my questions in this. So anyway, because I was trying to figure out, because apparently she died from homicide, and I'm trying to figure out the difference between homicide and murder, which apparently homicide is someone gets killed, murder is intentional. But homicide is someone gets killed by not natural causes. And I think, you know, you're not sure if it's intentional or not. Also, something to piece together is she was definitely alive on the 27th because they had that fight at that diner. And I sort of kept looking up all the texts from there on out. And between then, basically, I'm thinking she died on the 27th. Because the texts after that were the shady ones. Like the texts after that were like nothing but like calling her grandfather Stan. That started the night of the 27th. So why else would somebody else have her phone at that point? You know, and then the no service in Yosemite, that's obviously not from her. That was on 30th. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it happened on the 27th, sometime after that fight. So back to the chat. Joe Rogan died. You know, I'm staying on task. I'm like, that's irrelevant. Someone said it again. I thought, no, who cares? It's not real. Someone else says it. This is now the third person. I looked up, these are 3 different people now. Now all of a sudden everybody's saying throughout the chat, RIP Joe Rogan. Do you know that my heart started pounding? I literally was like, my heart was pounding and I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I was like, what happened to him? I was like, are you guys kidding me? Something happened to Joe Rogan. What happened to Joe Rogan? My heart started pounding. I like couldn't breathe for a second. Like I literally had like a really like, and I was like, this is probably a rumor. I'm not getting off this live. And when they end this live, I will look this up. But like literally, I was almost convinced that something like he died. And I was like, you got to be. Do you know what went through my core of my soul and my heart and my soul, like my being? And I literally was like, about to start hysterically crying. Like if something happened to him, I could not believe this myself. I'm literally making fun of myself right now. Okay. Like I was literally like laughing at myself when I realized nothing was wrong. Like, what is wrong with me? Like I almost, if I found out something happened, I legit was about to start crying and like would have been inconsolable to anybody for days, because I would have been like, I am not living on this earth without that man was supposed to be here while I'm here. It's just so stupid. Like I never felt this way. Like I understand like the Italian family who has my heart, who raised me, they're like this. You know what I mean? Like if a news anchor dies, they are like legit, like at the funeral, they're like, we knew him. And you know, nobody knew anybody. But like, so I'm not like this. Like if anything, this would be in my like comedy routine. You know what I mean? So it was like, I literally like was like, my heart's pounding. I'm like trying to stay on task. I'm freaking out. Like I was about to start being inconsolable. I looked it up. Nothing happened to him. I was like, God, he's okay. And then I just started laughing at myself. I was like, what is wrong with me? You know, I'm not saying I'm supposed to be with the guy. I'm not dumb and immature like that, you know, and he's married. I would never, but like, I'm saying like, sometimes people I think do have some sort of soul connection. Like maybe I work with him one day. I don't know. You know what I mean? Sometimes people do have a soul connection, whether they meet or not. And I'm just like, you know, it's just like not like, this was not part of the contract kind of thing. Like for our souls, I freaked the fuck out. Like I wouldn't have even been able to do a podcast on it. I wouldn't have. I don't know how. I feel bad saying this, but I don't know how Gabby's family did a public appearance and all that quickly. Like you know, anyway, but anyway, things are hard. I know to stay strong for the public, but when it's your daughter, or in my case, Joe Rogan, like, it was like,
You can't compare.
obviously, right. Anyway, so it's been a crazy week. Thank God Joe Rogan's okay, guys. Everybody just know that he's fine. If he ever sees this one day, oh my God, he's gonna be like, who is this chick? I mean, hopefully one day when I'm actually working with him in some way, this will be hilarious. But like, until then, like, it just looked nuts.
It'd be hilarious though if he did, like, he's a small dude. So if they're like, how did he die? He's like,
I don't think so.
well, a hawk came down and picked him up, and that was that. He just flew away with Joe
Okay,
Rogan.
I do not think he's a small guy.
He's a small dude. He's real small.
Oh, please, whatever. I don't even know what you're saying. I think he's very built.
For a small guy, yeah, because he's trying to freaking, you know, be like, hey, don't look at my height, look at my muscle.
All right, but at least that's it. That's a reflection of his work. You know what I mean? He earned those muscles. You know, people are born with height.
True. It's hilarious. But yeah, no, I mean, the parents get in front of the thing. They want this. They want justice. They want this guy found. So of course they're gonna like, you know, like put it together and be like, get out there. And
Of course. Don't.
they want the world to see them so that they can like build their like anger for this person and find him.
Yes, no, and no, that's very good. And you know, they did turn it into something beautiful, you know, where other people can help find other people, which is funny because remember I did say on that last podcast, maybe this was Gabby's sole mission, is to just raise awareness in this. I mean, they have been finding more people now. Maybe not alive, but
Oh yeah, that's that's the world. Also, what I heard is Dog the Bounty Hunter is hunting for Brian, which is hilarious because I don't even think there is a bounty on this guy. I don't even think there is. So what would be the purpose? Kind of defeats the whole.
and the mystery of it all is we still have no idea like what happened. You know what I mean? We still have no idea. It could be something not directly what we think. You know, I mean, we just don't know until he's found, really.
True. I mean, even then, he might decide to clam up and not say a word. Honestly, I think that since like the little things that they show, like the body camera and the diner thing, is that they blow up on each other and they get like into little fights. And maybe, who knows, in the end, maybe it was just that, oh, I accidentally pushed her and that was that. Or something weird, or like, I don't know, maybe this guy's a true psychotic and like planned the whole thing out.
Oh, I would
That-
hope not.
So I also like the fact that you're in the woods thinking that Brian Launderie is behind you. Meanwhile, you turn around, some guy with a bloody axe, like, no, I'm not Brian. You're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't know. It just occurred to me on one of my FDR walks when I'm alone in the forest this week. Like, you know,
Please
he
stop
could be
saying that on the internet.
like, you know, he could be anywhere. What?
Please stop mentioning that on the internet.
Well, you just drew attention to it. Okay, thanks. So now when I die, everybody just know who did it. Where's your Jason mask, bro? Where's your Jason mask? Because
No,
you
it's not going to be me.
I know it's not you, but I'm saying you highlighted it for people. I know. I know you're
We'll
too
just
tired.
blame it on Brian Launderie.
I know you're too tired to kill me. Anyway. Mhm.
But that's, I mean, yeah, this guy, it can't be long now. I don't think that he's hiding in his sister's apartment. Like, I really, it's just, if they haven't checked the apartments, because I heard like one story that the cops have been called on them like a lot over these last like 2 weeks. Like people have been going crazy calling them saying, we saw movement in the bedroom or this and that. We saw a guy on the lawn that looks like Brian. And
Oh
so
my
the
gosh,
cops,
he's been there the whole time.
so cops have been like literally called to the house like quite a few times over the past couple of weeks.
Wow.
So, but their checks come up with nothing. So, but who knows? Maybe they have like a freaking secret hatch under the carpet or anything, and maybe he's just hiding out underneath. Who knows?
Oh my God. I mean, if you think about it, what an interesting plan, you know? I mean, they literally made it seem like, oh, look, he left his car there because he took a hike, you know, and then was seen going back to the car to look, then eventually got the car. You know, it's like, what else would you do? I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't want to accuse anything of anybody, but it was just so crazy that his sister said, oh, haven't spoken to him, want to speak to him, wish I could speak to him. And then it comes out she saw him on the first, was there with him and his parents, and then was on the camping grounds with him and his parents. I mean, maybe Brian's not talking to her, but I definitely was like, you know, maybe like she meant since then.
I doubt it. She's most likely doing what all of them do.
I said, maybe she means since then.
Yeah, no, I
And
understand.
then
That. Oh, sorry. Did I interrupt you? Go ahead.
Then I put in all caps, or he's there, or he's staying there. It would just be really hilarious if the whole time, you know what I mean? Like he's staying there. And that's why I really tried to give the benefit of the doubt. And then I just put in all caps, or he's staying there, you know. And then I thought, what if he's there the whole time? I just couldn't imagine if he's like, maybe they never searched this house. But yeah, do you have anything more on this? Anything else you found out before we wrap up?
No, just the dog, the bounty hunting. But like,
Yeah, whatever.
they're gonna get this guy pretty soon. I mean, you can't, when you have so many people like looking for you, you can't stay on the run forever unless he tries to get to Mexico or Canada or something like that. But,
Well, I even said at this point, he went missing starting the 14th. And the fact that they said that he went missing on the 14th actually means that that's the latest that means that that's the latest he went missing. He could have went missing way before that. But with what we know of the 14th, that means that the latest he's been missing is the 14th. Today's October 2nd. So that means at least 15, 16, 17 days he's been out on there, you know, like say he's really not sheltered by anyone. I kept asking the anchor, I said, what are the odds that this guy's even alive at this point? Like, let's hope he's alive. But I mean, what are the odds, you know, because he might be without food for 15 days. He might be without water for 15 days. I mean, even if he packed enough, like at this point, he's going to run out, you know, and where is he sleeping? and, weather and animals. And so it's interesting. I feel and I sense he is alive for some reason. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, if he's an outdoorsman, like you don't need to pack anything. You live off the land. Uh, so he can hunt. If he can hunt, he can trap, he can gather, and just collect water and build shelter underneath, like, in a cave or anything. People do this all the time. So maybe he's just hiding in a national park and trying to freaking, I guess, well, there's not really much he can do by writing it out. He'll live there for the rest of his life. If it's that case.
Yeah, I mean, imagine he doesn't even know people are looking.
That'd be the stupidest thing.
I
But
don't
yeah, I got nothing else.
know. Like, I wonder if this guy has a phone. Why can't they get access to his old phone record? That would probably say everything, you know?
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. That's interesting that they're not trying to get that. Maybe they're not allowed to look at that yet or something. Or maybe there's a lot more going on than we know and they don't want to disclose it yet, for the sake of the investigation.
Yeah, that's possible. But yeah, no, I got nothing else. It's good work.
All
Hopefully
right.
they catch this dude.
Huh?
Said hopefully they catch this dude.
Yeah, and I don't even care about this dog guy. I mean, as long either he gets him or he doesn't. But I'm happy Joe Rogan's okay. Um, God bless Gabby Petito, and let's hope for the best of all of this. And yes, God bless, guys.